Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crafty Concepts with Erin. Today I am going to create a fun layout with the new collection from Close to My Heart / Stampin' Up. I know that sounds funny, it's complicated, but this is called Enjoy the Ride, and it's a beautiful summer inspired, just happy collection. So this is a sticker sheet, lots of fun titles on here and different little stickers to build up embellishment clusters. I like this one, Making Our Own Memories, enjoying the little things, these moments matter most, and love this day. And then this is the paper, so it's just like picnic and happiness, right? Summertime, we've got sunshine, little bicycles and flowers. And then this is my favorite here. So pretty. So I am going to be creating a double page layout. Let me clear these out of the way. Let me bring in my Versamats here. Bluebird is a featured color in this paper collection, and I'm kind of thinking I might want to go with this for my background. I have several photos. Some of my coworkers and I took the horses up to the mountains. There's my goofy dog Flynn, and it was a beautiful day. So look at this blue. It just is so pretty. And I'm thinking these are going to go really nicely. I've got two larger photos that are 4 by 5.5, and then these are 3 by 4s. So I'm kind of envisioning something like this. I do have this extra photo. Actually, no, I want this one. This one I'm going to tuck into a flip flap. I mean, I like it, but it's kind of far away and it's really kind of hard to tell, but I still want to include it. But that one can go in a flip flap. I'm putting Flynn in the middle here because it's very different from the other two. So I feel like it balances them. My friend Becky and Miss Mabel here. That's my husband's horse. She is just a handsome, handsome mare. So they're both looking in, so we'll go over there. We're kind of going this way. Flynn's dead center. And then if you look at my body position, it's kind of turned in. So these things just help me, figure out where to place photos really quickly. And I think I like that. I have documented a lot of rides, horseback rides up in the mountains, and typically I go with like greens and browns and pine trees, and I really bring in that mountain feel. So I think this is going to be really fun because it's kind of unexpected, but it really does capture the day, and it's outdoors, so that works. You can see there's a lot of green. This one's definitely like the mountains because there's all sorts of little bugs flying around. But I really like this gingham. It has a country feel to it. It brings out my friend's hat in the photo. So I've got lots of choices here. Let's see. I don't know if I really like the photos against that. We might have to change this up here. Let's see how these photos look on the Bluebird background. I do like that. With that white frame, I feel like that really pops, especially the green against the blue. So what we would do, I need white paper. I tried to go with a different background, but I don't think it's going to work. We could still have that blue frame around the outside, but yeah, that's going to look better. So we can bring in, have the white to kind of tone down this busy pattern paper. And I'm going to cut this into a strip because a little of that busy pattern goes a long way. So we could do something like that. I think that's going to work. But again, I do like this one also. So let's see how this is going to look. I feel like I like the red. I don't know. This one does look nice. I'm going to have to think about that. Like I said, the red is kind of unexpected, and I'm trying to embrace that. I think I'm going to go with the red. Let me cut these down. Off camera, I went ahead and got the center of the Bluebird cardstock. My white paper is 11.5 by 11.75. That gives me a 1/4 inch border around the top, outside edge, and bottom, so that I can use for another project or to map my photos. This floral strip is 3.5, and this one here is 2 inches. And then of course I use that cardstock to cut a mat large enough to accommodate both of my photos here. Eventually I will trim down those strips, but let's see what this beautiful sunshine yellow paper looks like. That really adds a punch of color, doesn't it? I am trying to save as much paper as I possibly can. So I've cut this one down to 9 inches by 6 inches, and we'll slide this under here.
To make that look continuous, I did cut a little 9 by 1/2 inch strip, and we'll tuck that in on the side here. So I think I'm ready to trim these. The floral ended up being 10.5 inches in length, and then the gingham, what I'm going to do is actually just trim down a piece for the top. Real technical here. We're just kind of eyeballing that. We'll chop off a piece and slide it in. And then this one, let's see, right? I want it slightly longer than my floral paper, so I just trim that down and we'll tuck it under. Actually, I'm wanting the gingham underneath the florals, so let's go ahead and switch that there. Honestly, you could have it either way, but I just intended for that to be the bottom layer. I want to start working on the right hand side. So again, I use that Bluebird cardstock and cut a mat to accommodate all 3 photos. I've got a couple more strips here, and we're going to add the gingham all the way to the outside edge, and then we can just cut a few pieces to tuck out the top and bottom for our floral paper. I'm just looking at the height. I want my row of photos here, and I do want to bring in some of this sunshine paper. I call it sunshine because it's yellow and there's little suns all over it, so it's the sunshine paper. And let's see, I think I'm going to just chop down a piece for the top. We'll slide that in. I'm purposely trying to vary the heights of these sections of paper here. I think I'm pretty happy with my paper placement, so let's go ahead and use some pewter ink to ink up the edges and just kind of finish off these layers. As I mentioned earlier, my friends and I were out for a day ride in the mountains. We like to call it a day ride because by the time you catch the horses, saddle them, haul them up to the mountains, and go for your ride and get home, it's pretty much the whole day, but it is a wonderful way to spend the day. We each packed a picnic lunch in our saddlebags, and then we ride for a couple hours to this lake. It's called Grouse Lake. It's really popular for hikers because, you know, it's not too hard to get there if you're just hiking, but it makes a nice little day trip for the horses. So you can hang out at the lake, eat your lunch. The dogs love to swim in the water, and then we turn around and head home. It's just really beautiful and relaxing.
I got everything inked up and adhered down. You'll notice here in the center, I did have the yellow sunshine paper all the way to the edge, giving it the look of one 12 by 24 sheet. But then I kind of like the look of columns over here, so I did give them a little bit of separation. And I placed these photos and then used this pattern paper to center it in line with my center focal photo there. I have these branding strips here I thought would be fun to add to bring in more of the blue, and you'll notice I purposely didn't want each side a mirror image. So over here, my red gingham is the biggest piece, and it's a small one over here, and I kind of made this one larger. So I mixed it up intentionally, and I'm thinking that having this piece kind of on the outside edge will just kind of frame everything in nicely. I have a couple different stickers from the coordinating sticker sheet. I did remove the adhesive off the back of these with my anti-static powder tool. These moments matter most. If I use this one, I'm thinking I would kind of put it like this and then have some embellishments under here framing that in, but it's a little bit big. It's kind of covering too much of me in the photo. So let's see how this one looks. And then I'm still going to create that L-shape embellishment cluster by wrapping the photo. I do like that. I think that looks good. And I love the little bugs flying around. Another idea, if you have, these make great, this could be a single page or this could be a single page, and you could put your title, something like this, and add hidden photos and journaling in a 3x4 flip flap and kind of have that, or even as a subtitle. I think that looks great, but we're going to save this for another project. So here are a bunch of stickers that I think would work. I've got the little dragonfly. I'm trying not to bring in the green so much. I'm going to let the green just be in the photos rather than the embellishments. There is a little bit in the paper, but I don't want it as a focal point. This one says nothing but blue skies. We've got a journaling spot here. This says here comes the sun, and then a flower, which will be nice to kind of, bring this, I'm thinking, over here to add some of those florals, and then hello summer. So those are all good contenders for my page here. Let me bring that back into frame. To customize this layout to my theme, I dug through my country stamps and found these ones here. So this is Thank You Kindly. We've got the little boot and the flowers are designed to tuck into the boot. So cute. And then this one, it's called It's a Cowgirl Thing. So again, we have another boot here, but this one has coordinating thin cuts. So I think I'm going to use that. And then this little cowgirl here, I thought it was perfect for this layout. So what I did is I stamped and fussy cut her in several colors. I've got almond, and then this is pewter and toffee. And you're probably thinking, wow, that's a lot of fussy cutting. But I always just tuck these back in the envelope and then they'll make it onto another project. And it's always like an added surprise when I go to use it and already have it done for me. So we might use her. There's a lot of brown tones in the photos, and then I think this looks nice with the tones in the paper. The pewter, I think it's just too different and doesn't quite blend, and then the almond is a bit light, so we might use this one. I went ahead and die cut a couple of these boots. I stamped them in black on a almond sheet of scrap paper there, and it's designed to kind of go like that, and you can use it as an embellishment or on a card. I think it's so cute, but I wanted a pair of boots, and I'm thinking we can kind of just wrap the corner of this photo. So I know these flowers are kind of fall inspired and don't exactly match the background, but I think they go well enough. I like it and it works for me. I've colored them with my red Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend marker, and then I picked out a green, I think that's the dull green, to closely match those colors in the paper. But yeah, I think that is pretty cute. I'm thinking we need a little cluster up here and then down in this corner over here. So I'm going to start with my larger embellishments because we wouldn't want to put, like the big ones up top and then have just a small one down here. I think that there's more room, and this works a little bit better to have the weight down below. And typically I wouldn't want my horse riding off the page there, but I think we can get away with it because it's going to direct your eye or lead your eye right to my little journaling spot. So I'm just making these rules up as we go. But I did mention earlier I wanted to bring the florals over to the outside edge. So we could do something like that. There's a stamp set that coordinates with this that stamps these flowers. And then you can also fussy cut some of the flowers too. So we've got this little tiny yellow sun. I feel like we need to ink up the edges there just to give that a little more definition. You can always cut like a, darker pattern paper in a slightly larger circle and layer them together too, and that'll help it pop. But this is nice because it brings that yellow over to this side. I think we need a bit more room, so I'm going to shift everything down here, and then that fits a little bit better.
I do want to explain that this collection, Enjoy the Ride, is from Stampin' Up, but if you head to my website, you might not find it there. And that's because all of the Close to My Heart branded items that Stampin' Up purchased are only available to former Close to My Heart makers and Close to My Heart customers. So if you are loving this collection and you have the perfect photos for it, just reach out to me and I am more than happy to help you place an order. There is another fabulous collection coming out in June called Lake Life, and I'm very excited about that one. So I forgot, I meant to put this photo on the bottom because that other photo I'm going to be tucking into a flip flap. I'll show you how to do that, so stay tuned till the end. And I also have these little dots that go along with this collection in coordinating colors. And the way this is cut, it's almost like a little sign. So I thought it would be fun to add just a few enamel dots like they are holding it in place. So let's go with blue. We'll put one on each end here. Now I'm looking at this layout and I feel like it needs a little something more up top. So I went back to the It's a Cowgirl Thing stamp set. I took the horseshoe and stamped a couple in the same toffee color. So we'll kind of tuck those in and around the sentiment strips there just to bring that color to the top embellishment cluster here. We have to make sure our horseshoes are facing upright so our luck doesn't fall out, right? Let me hold this up so you can see I added a few more of those enamel dots to the clusters, and I wanted to mix up the colors. So I added red, there's red and blue, and then red and blue down here. I added my journaling, just explaining who we were, where we went. and the date. So I've got this in a page protector in my album, and you want to make sure, see how I've got one photo on the other side and it's upside down. So when you flip it up, it's right side up. You've got the pocket, close the flap over, remove the adhesive strip. Let me tuck this down so I can get my head over. And then you just put it right to the outside of the page protector over your photos. Now it's very strong adhesive. Make sure you're happy with it. And then if everything's lined up, you can go ahead and burnish that in so you have a nice strong bond. Stampin' Up! Is going to be carrying flip-flaps. I don't know when, but it's going to be soon, so stay tuned for those. And my husband and I had gone on a ride just the weekend prior, so I've got this layout, and this is typically, my go-to color palette. I've got a 4x4 flip-flap here, but I love the earth tones and the browns and the greens and the blues, and I think it's just so pretty. But it was really fun to mix it up and use an unexpected color palette, and I think it just, works equally as well. All of my supplies are listed in the description box below for you, and I would love it if you'd take a moment to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're looking for more outdoor fun type layouts, then check these videos out right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.